think it's not even quite 7 o'clock morning. Decided to go ahead and get an early start today, just to not get it out of the way, but I have other things that I've got planned for today, so I don't want to get caught up in that and then just kind of miss the opportunity to stream. So I was up anyway, so I thought, well, we'll just kind of keep it going. You can see we're back on my alts plot at the Wildball field on Coach Carrot. Mostly we've just kind of been working on some of the little extra details. We've been working on adding extra snack stands. I am working to try and get a hold of some of the NPCs. That's slower going than probably hope, but eventually I will get some to be able to manage. If I can't get a hold of them, I'll put in the bots. I still need to add some things to the snack stand. I just haven't come up with any kind of ideas of items I want to try and make, but eventually I'll add some things, maybe some actual trays of little food or something, tacos, I don't know what. But the last thing that we started working on was setting up a commentator stand, a booth. You'll see that I've made some modifications. I've closed off this side of the build so that there's no extra walking space. Technically, people can still mount up on their like hoverboards and hop up onto the top and actually get to some of the areas without having to walk it. But for those people that want to come in and maybe role play that they're at a stadium and getting ready to watch a game or something, it's all accessible and you know, set up for that as if you were actually coming to it. But you'll see that I've already begun construction pretty good on getting it set up and ready. The idea is everybody, all of the spectators will be coming in to access the stands through this entrance here, and the team players will go to the other side. I've talked about trying to come up with ways to indicate which is which, to just kind of direct people, but I haven't gotten down to those details yet. But eventually it'll be, you know, the team players go to the right, and then they have access through the back to their locker rooms that you can see the doorways there, and then the spectators will come in through here. And the idea is eventually I will mark it so that it's clear that those on the green team, the green seats, will come in through this way so that they have immediate access to get into the stands this way. And for those that don't want to go all the way through that group just to get to the blue seats, they can just follow the whole tunnel all the way to the end and they'll have access as well. You can see there's still a lot to do, and I'm busily making changes to kind of get it all situated like it's supposed to be. So this will be the tunnel for the blue side. This will be boxed off, and no more access down below and all that kind of thing. You'll see that I started originally with these arched bits just to kind of get a feel for the layout. I had some extras in my inventory, so I just used them to kind of get a layout of where I wanted what and how high and all that kind of thing. And but as you can see, I've eventually just kind of started switching things out, changing the size of them. Instead of using the two here, I just made it larger in one big piece. This has actually been turned into just its own little room. Maybe it's a lounge of some sort, an employee lounge. Maybe the ones that are in the commentator's booth can come here and just have some seats and couches to kind of, you know, just chill out or whatever. I thought about leaving the front of it open as well. Excuse me. But I haven't quite decided if I want to do that or not. If I do, it'll take some tweaking on getting this framed up, putting in glass. So for the time being, I'm just leaving it boxed in, but it sounds like a good idea to go ahead and just add a glass window there as well. Or like if they're doing, like I said, grabbing a drink, having a table, they can still watch the game. They're just not, actually commentating. And then of course this is just solid blocks. Gonna have to be careful about falling down in there because eventually it's gonna be tough to do it. Anyway, so that's the idea for this, some kind of deal. And then I'll have it mirrored on the other side. The idea right now is I'm trying to match this look that I've got up here onto this side to get it kind of matchy-matchy. You'll see that I've pretty much boxed in this little booth area. I've got a nice big door, and then they come in and then they've just got this nice, really wide view of the field. I wanted the glass to be in such a way that it wasn't like there's a countertop directly, so that they can, actually see what's going on, even if the team is like close up to the side here. And of course, they've got a nice view of the sky as well. So, got a good shot, I think. I was busy. I was in the middle of moving the glass over when I stopped with the building. But you'll see that I've actually got a glass frame here, but it's kind of inset into what's going on here. I actually had two pieces of glass, but I don't think the bottom one's going to be necessary because of the way I've got this part set in. So I'm just going to send that to crate real quick, and maybe I'll put something of flour here to kind of cover up the messiness of that. But I'm going to replicate that over on this side to finish that off, and of course get rid of this piece. But it's a nice big room, or it will be. So we'll have plenty of space to set up a number of desks with monitors and things. A lot of it just depends on what I can get a hold of, or what's easily obtainable that I can grab for this character. So some of it we're not going to be doing today because I just don't have it on hand. Excuse me. Still fighting the cold. The cough or whatever I'm hanging on to. Anywho, so what we're going to do for this morning primarily is just to finish off this side of the build to match it to what I have here, and I'll probably go ahead and remove this wall and just install some glass to make it a nice little lounge area. So for the time being, we're just going to check out what we got here, and see if we can matchy it over here. Excuse me. Really been having a tough time with the coffee. I think that's the same, yeah, it's the same thing, so to be able to just go up and make this there. Excuse me. Okay, so that's that. And then what we can do is just test out the glass idea on this one since it doesn't have a wall yet, and if it works out okay, then we'll replicate that over on this side. So let's see, what kind of glass do I have on hand? You could probably get away with just one piece. I'm going to use the frame even though I really don't need it, just because it's handy. I have it on hand. Well, let's see. What other glass did I have? Because I'm probably going to use that for the tunnel walkway. Let me see. I think I used the wood for that one. Let me just check. No, I used the metal one, so I'll go ahead and use the wood one for this over here. I don't know why I switched it to metal on the other side. I have no idea. Okay, so we're gonna pop one down here and then orient it first. Now I've been having a lot of trouble with the pieces warping quite a bit as I'm maneuvering it around, so we may have that same trouble today. I guess I'll put it up to 3. Yeah, see, it's just kind of 2.75 maybe. Kind of worky. Now you'll notice that it's got a little bit of the frame showing here. That wouldn't be the case if I went ahead and used unframed glass. The only difference between the unframed glass, besides one having a frame and one not, is I think they come in particular colors of the glass. The regular framed glass I think is pretty much considered clear, no coloring, but the unframed glass comes in like green, red, and blue. So I really don't want a color per se. So I'm just gonna leave it with the framed one. I don't mind that there's that little bit here. There you got the framed. I think that'll work all right. We'll go ahead and remove this panel here, and then just copy paste. Copy clone, or however you want to do it. Because I got everything open, it's like I have a variety of ways to pick. Okay, I just need to remember to use this button to place it, because if I just click off into the world, or I use the other place button, then it doesn't work properly. It'll fork it and send it back over. So Katya is working on a resolution for that, but I don't know when that will be out. Okay, so we have the 2 little lounge areas. This, can be another lounge area. Maybe I have some soda machines or something if I get a hold of any more of those. Then I need to replicate this part here and the little bridge thing. So I don't know what all pieces I have here, so I'm just going to have to... I could save it as a set, but I prefer doing it piece by piece, just as I do. So bear with me as I move this bit by bit. Excuse me. Now I'm checking to see where about this comes as well. And gotta remember to replicate the glasses too, because I want it to be the same. I think that just changed height altogether. It keeps going up. Oop, I fell. Oh well. I don't know why it keeps doing that, but for whatever reason, I don't know, just kind of decides to warp really badly. Okay, so there's that one. And then I think I just boxed that off on the front as well. Hey Bones, glad you can make it. Yeah, I just have it the same. Keep wondering, what is that smell? And I have a bowl of sliced onions. I tell you, if you're having trouble with sleeping and because you have this really bad cough, I guarantee you a bowl of sliced onions is the way to go. The only trouble is once you're awake, it doesn't seem to work as well. It's only when you're sleeping, it's really weird. But my husband said, well, just put them on your desk and maybe they'll help you not cough so much while you're streaming and stuff. And I guess it kind of helps. I don't know. It's a weird thing, but I keep getting a whiff of that, you know, sweaty armpit smell with the onions and like, what is that odor? Because I'm not used to having it. Usually just sits on my nightstand next to my bed, which is a real joy for him because he can't sleep very well because of the the smell of the onions. Okay, so we have the box stem part here, and then we need to do the little bridge part here, which I think is, well, I guess we better just copy that one and just to make sure that I get it the right size. Well, but maybe it's okay. Let me just look. How are you doing this morning, Bones? Got some more meetings to attend? I think it'll be alright. We'll just leave it like that. I do notice that for whatever reason, I guess this, I had originally put a piece here and I guess it didn't take, so let me see if I can get that to get back in there like it's supposed to. And let's see, I guess I need to box this off as well. Oh, getting your WildStar fixed before having to head out to work, I guess. Wow, that is just, it's so warpy. Let me try that again. I'm going to use the, see if that helps. Wow, just, it really messes it up. And it's unfortunate because her add-on doesn't seem to be fixing it, whatever's causing it to go warpy. Very frustrating. I don't know what button to push. I guess any of them will work. Yeah, I figured it might be nice to have it kind of open, just to be different. I did finally get a reply from her about what her plans were, and I think I've gone a different route than what she was talking about. So I think she was planning on putting her eatery stuffs up here on this platform, and whereas I've opted to put mine out front. I still think we also need to maybe address a ticket booth of some sort, because you know, usually you have some kind of a admissions area. You know, maybe put that here. Excuse me. Something like that, I'm not sure. The command to bring up Housing Toolbox Pro, as far as I know, there isn't a command. If you have the add-on installed, you should be able to just click on an item and it'll pop it up automatically. Beyond that, I don't know. This is the only part of those add-ons that I use. I don't know if this is actually the Toolbox Pro or if it's the Housing Decor Set Manager part, because Laments is in two pieces. I have both installed, but this is the only part that I actually use. Other than that, all I can say is maybe check the description that's on the Cursed page itself, where you downloaded the add-on, and it should, if they do it like most of the add-on writers, it should have a listing of maybe the / commands that you can use to either edit it or whatever. You might also look in your add-on section to see if it's listed there. I don't think I've ever noticed it, but like I said, the part that I use, it automatically shows up when I click on an item. So. But this one here, this is Katya's, and to get that one to come up, if you're talking about this one instead of the Toolbox Pro, which is a separate entity, if you're talking about Katya's Builder Toolkit, that you just type / Katya, and that calls this one up. Hopefully that helps. And yeah, I thought about that, Bones, about the netting idea, but you know, I kind of hesitate to replicate things that I see other people do. I like it to inspire me, but I try to avoid, you know, using too similar things, because there have been issues with people getting really upset when someone uses something that's very similar to what they've built. In fact, I just had that happen yesterday. I made up a new housing spotlight for WildStar Core, and wow, there was like a lot of commentary on that, because apparently the plot that I decided to spotlight was very similar in a number of ways to someone else's plot, and they were pretty upset about that. So we ended up, I requested that it be pulled from the site, and yeah, I don't want to, you know, it's, for me, if I make something and I'm showing somebody how to make it like this, and then someone goes and does something either exactly like it or pretty similar, you know, using the same concept, like I've made the filing cabinets. I don't know if I was the first to do it, but it was, you know, when I made it myself, it was something that I didn't get the idea from anybody else. I come up with it myself, even though someone else might have done the same thing, because that's always possible. But at least for me, I know that I come up with that idea originally on my own, to use the crates, and then inside it to have, you know, have one pulled out and then have the books inside it to look like the files. And I do that in a lot of my builds when I have some kind of office space that I want to kind of represent. In fact, I was thinking of doing that in here as well, in a couple places. And I've seen other people do that since then. I don't know if they come up with the idea on their own like I did, or if they happen to see some of my, because I tweet and post pictures of my plots, and of course most of them are public so people can come and look. So sometimes I am pretty sure what I built inspired them to do the same thing. To me, that's a form of flattery. If they liked it enough to want to, copy it or do something very close to it or similar, that's a form of flattery, because obviously you made something that other people really like. But there's like a fine line to people thinking, well, it's outright plagiarism. They copied my plot, item for item, and they don't appreciate that. So while I encourage people to visit other homes for the inspiration, really try not to, do it item for item. Some places you just can't help that because we just have so few options anyway. There's only so many items that work for water. There's only so many items that, there's only so many ways you can arrange pieces of glass to look like a display case kind of thing. So eventually you're going to come across people that have similar types of arrangements, but if it's too similar, then it gets a little, on the gray side as far as, is that really your doing or somebody else's? And especially if it's for like a spotlight or for like a housing contest or something, you don't want to not give that person credit. That's just not nice. So yeah, had a little bit of drama, and I don't know, I messaged the person that I had spotlighted and let them know what the issue was, and they'll have the opportunity to kind of defend themselves. Maybe it really was just they saw that person's build and said, I really like that, I'd like to make something similar, and it just happened to be super similar just by looking at screenshots and stuff, and wasn't really like a copy thing. But we'll see. Whoops, dang it, did that little deal again. Let me just pop out. I keep forgetting to hit the right button. It's frustrating. Oops, housing. So if I don't hit the right button, then it pops back and then you can't touch it, and it just borks out, and frustrating. I don't know what's causing it, something in the latest little patch that kind of made it wonky or what, but it's just not being nice for me. So I'm gonna say copy, no. Testing it, messing up. Then I have to use the place button there, and then it stays. So if you're having trouble with your item staying, remember to use this place button and not just click off. I told Katya I typically just click off somewhere here. I even did a test. I used this button, I clicked off, and I used this button, and the success of it was greatly varied, because it just, I don't know, rude. Just like sometimes it'll allow you to buy things automatically just by cloning it, and other times it won't. I don't know, it's just really not being friendly. But yeah, Bones, I try to avoid that drama stuff. You know, it was one of the reasons why I was hesitant about even joining a guild, because I know how things can go sometimes. People get emotionally attached to certain things, or they get very passionate about whatever aspect of the game that they're involved in, and you know, text kind of stuff isn't always the best way of communicating, because you can't communicate, you know, your emotions very clearly, and it can lead to a lot of problems. So yeah, I was like super distraught about that yesterday. When it all kind of hit the fan, I was like, oh no. Here I was just trying to, you know, kind of showcase what was going on our side of the pond, and then to find out, you know, something squirrely was going on. It's just, you know, I kind of felt responsible. So even though technically it's not my fault, I didn't make the build. I just was showing it off, you know. And of course, I'm not very familiar with all of the stuff that goes on NA side. So, you know, I know there's videos and stuff, but I hate to say it, but generally speaking, I get annoyed with listening to some of the commentating that goes on. Either it's the person's voice, or just they are just talking gibberty jabberty, and I'm sure people feel the same about me, so I don't feel bad in saying that, because I'm sure it's, you know, an equal kind of thing. But I just don't usually watch the videos of those homes. But we have a fail-safe set up now, so that hopefully that won't be an issue later. Whoops, oh crud. I just kind of messed that all up. Yeah, I just want to a little bit. I wanted to move it just a little bit. I just kind of went whoopee. Okay. Getting close, getting close. I'm worried about boxing it all off, because I know I'm going to fall off into the field again doing something, and I'm going to end up getting stuck. I'll have to do the little crystal port thing. One thing I did want to check was how I've got this boxed off here. Yeah, I think it's just a couple of these. So I'm gonna copy clone that, and then drag that over. Probably not gonna stay in the right position, but we'll try it. Again, the jiggling is just, yeah, see, it's, for whatever reason, it's going up. The angle's not different, but it's keeps slowly rising. Crazy thing. Anyway, so since I had actually planned to have the spotlight published yesterday, that puts us a week behind now. So what I'll probably do is try and hurry up and work up another one and get it published next week, and then just start my bi-weekly thing from there. It's just unfortunate that this whole shebang happened. Okay, I'm gonna place that, and then I'm gonna see how I fix that up. Okay, so it's just another one. Probably gonna regret doing that. Move it straight on over. No one's actually staying about where it's supposed to, which is weird. I don't know what causes some of them to warp and others not. I see now there it warped. I spoke too soon. Ah, the goofy thing. I'm gonna place that and then I'm gonna tweak it again because I just have a bad feeling it's gonna really get swirly. Okay, then I'm gonna look at the end here. Now, because I've got this set up with the staircase, I guess I didn't notice too much that this was kind of overlapping a bit. So let me now let's just do it like that. I've had to kind of set these stairs a little offset to each other, and so that they won't be blinky because they're pretty much overlapping each other. And it looks like this isn't even matchy, so hold on a minute. Oh, let's just have it again. Yeah, see, that's not even boxed in right. I can see a gap there. Looks okay from there. Let me go out here and make sure nothing looks a little weird. The only thing that doesn't quite work well is this bit here, but that's one little piece. I can live with it. Doesn't look right there. Hard to tell because this thing warps and then I guess that's close. Close enough. So it's kind of overlap there. Yes, it is rather annoying. Really would love it if it didn't do that, but oh well. Okay, we're just gonna copy clone this one straight off the side here. Maybe I can get it nice, a straight edge here. I go ahead and push these in. Well, I guess I had it out because of this piece here. But since I'm gonna box that in, I guess it won't matter if that's showing or not. Okay, something like that. And then maybe just, don't know if those are the same height. I hope so. If so, then I'll probably just, I don't know, box it in with glass maybe? I really don't want to install another set of stairs over here. Maybe, you know, that's appropriate for like fire hazard or something, but I don't think I want to do that. Wow, that is so annoying. I'm gonna try an experiment to see if, because I'm moving it to object instead of world, maybe that's what's causing it to kind of go early. Let's do it this way. No, it still does it. So it doesn't care at all. Oh well. I don't know why it does that. Now for a while I thought it was mostly because of the hatch house, but before when it did it, it seemed to just do it in like the direct vicinity of where that is. But I get this all over the place now. It doesn't matter where I'm at on the plot, it just wigs out. I see it didn't do it there. I don't know. Unpredictable, inconsistent, I tell you. Okay, so we probably need about 3 more of those. That was the wood. I can spell. We'll get 3 more just. May need another one, but at least this time it doesn't seem to be changing elevation, it's just kind of twists back. Okay. Oops. I think it's not gonna line up just like I want it to. You see how I have this one pretty much right on the edge. So I'm gonna have to kind of just take it in here. So what we'll do is, what are we gonna do? What are we going to do? Let's see. Got another one of those slanted, the small ones. Yes, we do. Excuse me. We'll see if we can just kind of box this in nicely. I'm hoping that it'll be thick enough. Well, why did I turn that? That it'll be thick enough that it'll kind of disguise that there's that kind of like not wow, that's like really slanted, isn't it? I don't think that'll work. So let's try something else. Really don't want to use the flat floor pieces because they have that gosh awful design on there, but looks like I'm gonna have to, because let's see. I don't think there's much room for stretching these out either. Don't want to use pillars, even though that would probably fill in this gap nicely, because then it just looks kind of out of place unless I give it a specific reason why there's pillars there. I don't think that'll work either. Let's see. If I move this down, oh, let's wait a minute. Let's put this one in first. Maybe I don't have to stretch it too far. Yeah, then I'm gonna have to, I think what I'll do, oh my gosh, the thing is just so annoying. I was thinking that exact thing, but then I don't know if I want to put pillars on each. I think I'm gonna try and get it to where it's maybe just the middle one, right around where the door is for the, I don't have to do it all the way down. If that makes sense. Column supports. Yeah. That's the builder's way. Just kind of tweak it in there. It'll be all right. Okay, let's see. Quit twisting. God, that's so annoying. Wish I knew what caused it to do that. So my idea is maybe to just center this one here and have the two extra beams there to kind of box it in a little bit. I think that'll be all right. Kind of gives a little extra attention to the doorway and that kind of thing. So now, what pillars to use? I guess the Cassian ones would be best. I don't know. I prefer the Cassian ones because they seem to suit a wider variety of things. It's like the Granok one, it's got all that rope stuff and it's not even the same. Hello Mario, welcome to the show. But it's not, you know, part of the rope is a little bit more on one end than the other and it's in different positions so you can't get it to look mirrored like you might want. The Draken one, it's supposed to be like, it looks like stone, but the color is a little funny. It doesn't match a lot of things that you already have. The Chua one, it's more metal, but like copper kind of thing, so that doesn't always work. Let's just put it at 2. Oh, where that puts us. No. Let's see. That look about right? Gosh, I don't know. You see, now that I'm boxing things off, I'm gonna have to actually walk the place like it's supposed to be. Like poking through, no, that's pretty thick, so it's all right there. Just want to make sure I get it the right positioning there. Guess that's okay. So do I push it out this way? Maybe make it a little bigger, a little smaller. Maybe a little smaller. Try that. Really be nice if it wouldn't work. Keeps trying to do. Can't make it much smaller because then the bits will be sticking out. So something like that, I guess. And then we need the other one to be same. I'll hit the right arrow there. Yeah, because it's like right on the edge showing. Okay, so let me test that to make sure there's no collision because it might be a little too low. Oops. No, it looks okay. So that's good. So there's that. So we just need to finish boxing this off. And that just means the glass here, I guess. And then that will be the base of it, you know, the shape and everything should be all good. So, not sure how many of these. I don't have any of those. I used them all up. So probably 1, 2, 3, maybe 7 or 8. I'll get 8, I guess. I may not use them all, but excuse me. Another drink. Sounds like the farmers have got the tractors out again. Okay, so wanna twist this a bit. Guess we could get away with making that straight at 180. At least these aren't twisting, that's good. That rotation thing is super annoying. Glad it's not for everything I've put out here. Yeah, I probably got a few extras that. Oh well, I might use them for something else. Okay, so that is that. I'm no longer falling into the field. As long as I don't, you know, go up on top, I think we'll be alright. Okay. Don't know why anyone would want to look out over here, but we'll see. So we have the two little like lounge areas, one on either side. Still got a good view of the field. Yeah, it is. I don't know what, there's really no easy solution to that other than hoping that Katya sorts it out. But like with the offset, I know she said something about if it's not a consistent kind of thing, there's no way for her to be able to calculate what, how it needs to be or not be. So, well, I don't know. But she will put it in if she can. I'm confident about that. So let's see. We got plenty of these extra posters that I ended up not using in the snack stand. So I'm just going to set up a desk of some sort of a podium thing, or I don't know what you call it, a countertop, where the dude would sit and he's got his like commentator partner, or maybe there's 3 or 4 of them. They're all talking and they got their notes and little monitors for, playback kind of thing. And just set up a little table kind of thing, a desk of some sort. Now, whenever I build the furniture like this, I usually almost always go for my orange size to get the scale how I want it. That might not be the best option because, like I said, there are other races and stuff that might want to come and do this, but I don't know. I have the bad habit of just sticking with my own because I tend to be the only one on the plot anyway. So now I'm building this, and I just kind of arbitrarily started building in this location. I may discover that I want to move the whole thing down, so I'm prepared to link it all together and call it good. Let's see, this will do probably 4. I don't think I want it to go the entire length of this little office space or whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. Pardon me. So let's see. Now, Katya was kindly reminding me that I can do this bit supposedly with this here too, but yeah, you have like the decor button and it has all of the little controls here. But I'm so used to using this one that I tend to favor it over bringing this one out. I guess I really should practice on using this one. Just wean myself off of the old one. Because her add-on is really meant to be a replacement to this. So yeah, I'm supposed to not be using that one. But it's so hard because you're so used to using a particular tool and you just want to continue using it. Very tempting to, keep messing with it. Okay, so let's see, what height is that? See, and it doesn't help that this automatically pops up anyway. See, that would probably help too if that didn't pop up every time I select something. Weird that there's no control there. The little button thing. I don't know if it's because I've opened this up. Yeah. Her calling this up gets rid of the button here, but this still pops up, which is annoying. Because if I'm trying to wean myself off of that one, then I don't want that one to be there. I just want to see this, but for whatever reason, that other one keeps wanting to show up. Okay, so go away. Maybe it's a setting or something I have to change. I have no idea. But anyway, I'm gonna try and ignore it. So we're gonna place the duplicate, and then I'm going to set that up over here. Now I know that there's posters showing, that'll get sorted out later. We'll worry about it after the fact. Ugh, I do this little twisty thing again. See, it's like messing up. Okay, and then we'll just duplicate that all the way across. Now the reason I'm not going to box in the front, or the back side, I should say, this is, I guess, technically the front. The back side is because I want leg room for whoever might be sitting there doing their thing. So I'll sort that out here in a minute. Oh, that one's not quite. All kinds of porky. Okay, there's that. Just ignore the weirdness of that bit there. I don't think I have any kind of monitors or displays or screens or anything of that sort. Let me just look into like electronics maybe. We got a tablet computer, the two that used to be the school boards. So I could probably put them in here. We'll do like I've seen others do. We'll make like some little laptop computer kind of things. Now I know there are some new screens that are available. There's one called the Excel screen and one Dominion screen. The Dominion one the minions usually like red colors, like the Dominion scanner and stuff, but the screen is actually more of an orange color, but it's a nice little monitor thing. From what I could tell from the screenshots and the previews that I've seen from them being listed on the auction house, there's not a lot of extra doodads all around. It's just like a little monitor type of thing. It's got a metal frame and all that. And then the Exile one, of course, is more blue. Yeah, there's a lot of, there's actually a list of some of the new decor in the forums, in the housing section. Been really helpful, and you know, I keep a notepad list of decor that I'm kind of on the lookout for, trying to find it cheap and everything, and it helps to have that list available to kind of, you know, make sure I get the bits that I want. I used to just, what I would do, and I still kind of do it sometimes, is I just look at the really expensive stuff, because usually if something's new, people are going to try and ask more for it. So I just would scan that part and write down the new things that I saw. But helpful when other people put that kind of listing together too. Okay, so this is going to be like room for two commentator kind of things. They'll have their own little desk space. Maybe we'll put some books and notes and papers and stuff in here. I don't know. But before I get too far into building any more of this, I'm going to link it up and move it to make it centered on this center line here to kind of match it, just to kind of get it in position before I add too much more to it. Oh, for like seeing how expensive they are or something? I'm not sure what you mean by that comment. Okay, one thing I see that I'm looking to see how, other than having that little button come up so that I can link things, I'm trying to figure out how to link stuff without I don't see how to do that. I see clone in place. Okay. I don't see some convenient way of linking though. The target is chosen, will automatically link to it. Shift, unlink. Oh gosh. I hate all these shift and control stuff. It's confusing to me. Target is chosen. No, see that's not gonna work for me. I'll have to think about that later. This is much easier for me to understand. Now I could use laments as well to link, but I don't want all the glass and stuff to be linked up into it either, so. So, as I told Katya, I'll eventually get the hang of it, but today is not the day for that. Okay, so something like that. That's okay. So we got the two commentator desks, and then maybe maybe some VIP seating or something. I don't know. I don't know what else goes in a commentator booth. Yeah, okay. So you're talking about the prices of the new items. Yeah, it was like the celestial, the gnarled celestial root, I think is what it's called. It it's a really nice looking piece, but I think currently the last time I saw it, the cheapest was like 25 flat. It's like I might want it pretty bad, but not that bad. You know, I'll wait till either I get lucky and have it drop for me personally, or I just happen to catch it for cheap, because that's just ridiculous in price. For me anyway, and that's coming from someone that could actually afford to spend 25 flat on an item. I just don't want to. Because if I did that, you know, for everything that I might want, then I wouldn't have, you know, this little nest egg built up. So I don't know. Okay, so now I'm going to start putting in some pieces to kind of hide the extra little bits here that I don't want showing. Excuse me. Yeah, folks, you cannot link stuff in chat. Mr. Moobot does not take kindly to that kind of thing. I guess we'll kind of put a little divider here, just for the heck of it. One bad thing about streaming early is I haven't yet had my breakfast, so my stomach is starting to complain about that. Okay, so duplicate that one. Rotate it. Oh, no. I use this one. Excuse me. So sorry for that. I have been taking like cough syrup and cough drops and whoops, oh, it's starting to twist. And gargled with salt water, and you know, I've just been doing everything and nothing is seeming to work. Just that time of year, I tend to get this, and once I get it, it's hard to get rid of it. Okay, so we probably need 3 more of those. Three. That one needs to go in a little bit. something like that. There's the little commentator disc, just a simple little, you know, kind of placeholder for any other details you might want to put in. Now the keyboards and stuff I'll have to get myself, either that or come up with an alternative way to kind of create one, which nothing really comes to mind offhand, so that I'm not exactly copying anybody else and how they've done their little laptop thing. Trying to think if there's anything in particular. I don't know if that would work to kind of look like a keyboard. Let me just test it out. Oh, I'm using that one again. That's the locate tool. That's kind of handy. Sort of like that. Oh, that doesn't look like it's situated just right. How's that look? Does that look like a keyboard? I don't think that looks too bad. Maybe you have to put something underneath it. Not sure what though. As the base of the thing, but I think that'll work all right. A nice, it's kind of divvied up and looks like little keys. So I'm glad I tried that. So we need another grate. Doesn't come cheap, but a lot cheaper than 25 flat. So I'm happy to spend 2 gold. Looks like it offset a little bit. Teeny tiny rug, that might work. Let's see, I think that was, it offset a little bit, so I'm gonna check where that is. See, I don't see a cancel button here either. Like if I move something and I don't want to keep it, that I don't see a cancel. So maybe I'll mention that to her. That's something I would like, because you know I moved it, but I don't want to keep it that way. 5171. Come on, select that thing. So let's see, rug. Do I have any rugs? No. That's expensive. Pricey. Yeah. That's gonna have the tassels on it, and that's round, so I don't know about that. Maybe, what would be nice is if it had something. Probably this would be ideal, and then I use something else for the table, but I'm not going to do that. Well, let's look at tables. Do you have any tables that are kind of... I don't have any tables. Table, no. See, this might work, but then I'm worried that it's going to be sticking out weird at the bottom here. We'll get one of those, and maybe an exile table list, just to check them out. Let's try that one there, and see, that's another thing. I don't think this will actually see, like here I can select this and say I want to copy the transformation of it. Then I can select a different item and say that I want that to be the same. I don't know if that will work. Same with Katya's. I'm going to try it. Do a copy and paste. See, I know it's not turned right, but it's got the size right and sort of the position. I'm going to cancel that and then see if Katya's does the same thing. So we're going to do a copy. And then paste. Oh, and it did. Okay, so that's good. I still am missing a cancel button though. I don't see how I can cancel it. If I move something and I don't want to keep it that way. I think is taking out the back there. Okay, let me try this. It's the right width, it's just not the right. That's maybe a little too small. Okay, now I forgot if I have to place it with that one or that one. Yeah. I don't remember what I used. So if I use this one, I'll have to get 2, and that means 4 tables altogether to make it go all the way across. Let's see if this one works a little better. A little bit more of a rectangle, so it might suit. Might. Copy. A little on the big side. Keep tweaking it till you get about where you think it needs to be. Not sticking out the back. It's a little brighter as well, so that's a plus. think that might work better with the blue table. Of course, the only thing is that's a lot more noticeable down here, but I can fix that a bit. I think I'm gonna have to double up the shelf, the tabletop anyway, so that you don't see this. Because inevitably somebody's gonna be painting around and see that, and I don't want that. So we'll get rid of the flat metal table. So now, do we have a cinder crate from here? I don't see one. So that's two things I've seen that I'm not sure it's capable of. So the pen work. Send to crate and cancel button. Okay. Yeah, I don't see a. Any kind of a cancel or integrate option. So send that to crate, and then we'll. I guess I need to buy another. What was that? Exile table. So that looks alright. You got two little computers with their keyboards. Now, if we're going to get really particular, I guess we need some mouse pads and mice and things like that. I may add those bits. Or maybe just like do like a little one with like the ball or something. I don't know. But there's at least that. They can input their information, stuff's in there. So my next order of business is to cover up these legs here. So what we'll do is we'll grab one of those and see we need 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 8 of those. We'll do it. I don't think just the one extra layer will be thick enough. Duplicate, and then we're going to rotate it. Drop it down. Yeah, see, it's just going to be barely sticking there. So just to make sure it's getting covered up, we'll that's what I was worried about. Excuse me. Just more copy pasting. or duplicating, or however you want to say it. You know, it's not a necessary thing. You could just get away with not boxing this in like I'm doing, especially if you're pinched for decor space and everything. You know, you have the option of leaving it that way or using something entirely different for the desk. I just happen to use the posters, and that requires a little extra attention so that the poster part isn't visible and that kind of thing. Okay, so it should be, yeah, looks alright. You know, I could add like some handles to make it look like there's some drawers there, instead of just, you know, flat out like that. Add a waste basket or something. Let's see, for the chairs, we'll probably just use the Marauder chairs. We have some anyway, so. And these always seemed really too big for me, so I always put them to, I think it's, yeah, 0.7. And the best way to check it out is to just place it how you think it should look, and then test it. See, my character still looks a little small in it, so I figure it's probably pretty good for any rate. Her feet aren't sunk into the ground or anything strange, so. And I've got it far enough away that it actually looks alright if someone's sitting there. I think the only ones that might have a little trouble is maybe the Granok. And then I'll just paste that on over here, and then I'll turn it differently so it's not the same. Excuse me. Not like cough. Okay, so there's a very simple desk so far. Nothing super fancy or anything. You know, just the more detail that you add to a particular item or room or space or whatever, the better it looks. Typically, you know, there's also the risk of being too cluttery, having too much there. You just want to kind of give the quick impression of what it is, and maybe add a few other little details. Like I said, I could add a mouse and you know, hard drive, like the brains or something, and or add some cups, or you know, who knows what else I can put here. But you don't want to get too much, because if you get a little too detailed, then it becomes cluttery. I much prefer not to have too much clutter. Put things there, it has a specific person. There's usually a reason why it's there. Let's see. I've also been thinking about, you know, usually when you go to any kind of a field or something, there's like advertisements all around the inside of the field wall. So I've been thinking about, you know, things I could get a hold of that might work in such a way. Some of the signs, or like the Gatorade machine, having it sunk in there and having a little protostar guy going, kind of thing like that. I will keep an eye out for that stuff and see if I can get my hands on some of it, and see about adding that in. See what kind of plants we've got on hand. You can see I'm already at about 1,200 out of 2,500. So it's not too bad. I still got quite a ways to go if I want to really get into it. It's good if you have several things that you still want to add to kind of put, okay, a little bit here and a little bit there, and just kind of evenly distribute whatever space you have left. It becomes even more important as you get closer and closer to your limit. I've only used 2 lights. I feel sorry for those that are already at 40. I've just been really neglective on. I don't know, I have a tendency to forget to install lights. I don't know why. But yeah, I could probably use some in here as well to kind of brighten it up. We'll have to look into that. What was I doing? Crud, I forgot what I was going to look up. Help me out, Bones. What was I looking up? Not a sign, it was something else. Let me think. Plants, yes. God, so bad. Apparently I have no plants. So let's just go to the plants section. I like the one that's like the bush and the little, like this one or this one. The only thing about these is they are so big that they tend to kind of stick out where they're not supposed to, kind of thing. Just want something that might help hide some of this bit that I don't really want eyeballing. You couldn't remember either. Well, we're bad all around. That's my gray moment for today. Been really bad lately. Okay. It's like you don't want to clip it into the wall at all, so it's hard to find a good position for it so that it's not doing that. You don't want it, oops. You don't want it sticking out too far either, but I think that'll work. A little greenery. And let's see, what was that one? Pink face. I'll just do the same thing over here. Excuse me. Which way did I have it? I don't know. Something like that. Just something to kind of, not really hide, but kind of causes your eye not to really zone in on the little bits that are down there. Don't want it noticed. Yes, we've got maintenance coming in. I forgot to mention that. We do have maintenance coming in about half an hour now. So we can do a few more things before we get kicked off of here. And I think the maintenance is going to last, I think they said 3 or 4 hours. Let me look here and see if I can call up that information. Yeah, expected downtime to last approximately 4 hours. So, you know, if you've got plans to hop on in game anytime soon, you know, your opportunity is quickly going bye-bye because you're going to be kicking us off for a while. I had hoped that they would be, you know, doing the maintenance less and less, but I expect I know there's been some issues with some of the PvP stuff that people have been saying they really need to fix before our prestige bonus weekend. That's supposed to be starting, I don't know, is that today or tomorrow? I can't remember now. But folks are begging them to get that sorted before then. So I'm kind of guessing that's probably what this one's probably about. Yeah, so while you're at work, you can be thankful that, you're not tempted to get online or anything. Unlike me, I'll be like sitting here going, I need my fix, waiting for it to come back up. Now I'll probably go do some housework or something, some real life housing. Okay, so I don't know what else I'm gonna put in here. I'm gonna have to put something because it begs for some extra stuff. Maybe I'll put some couches in. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Excuse me. But we made a lot of progress today. I'm pretty happy with how it kind of came together. I'm really seriously thinking I'm going to probably install some kind of like makeshift camera for the reporters and stuff. Have one here and over here for those that want to film the game or something. But I think I'm really happy with how it's coming together, looking a little bit more purposeful and everything. That's always good. So things to do is probably some kind of a ticket booth of some sort. Have a little gated area here maybe. Signs to kind of indicate this is where the fans go, and this one's for the teams. Yeah, real life housing is kind of boring, but it's a necessary evil, because if I don't do it, nobody else will. So gotta, tend to those clothes and dishes because they won't fold and wash themselves. Need some extra bits at the snack stand. Something for signs along the inside of the field, that we go around the bottom edge here. Just going to take a quick look at how this new area looks from the other side. See, that don't look too bad. It doesn't cover up the scoreboard or anything. I purposely made sure that the size was pretty good. It looks pretty alright, if I do say so myself. I'm curious to see how Katya and them solve theirs. I know the Dominion version for Entity, I think they're still waiting to start on. I don't think it's actually been, at least the stadium part. The field itself might be there, but I don't think they have a stadium installed yet. So it'll be interesting to see how they come up with theirs. And I haven't heard anything more about the one that might be popping up on Dominion's side. Katya contacted them to kind of get some more information, or to provide some more information to make sure that they were certain that they want to get involved, but I haven't heard anything about that since then, so can't really say if you can be expecting one on Dominion's side anytime soon or not. But the Exile one is coming together. It would be really nice to see this get used a little bit more than it is just me running around on it. So yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I don't want to sit and wait till it's actually the last little minute, because I'd like to do some other things before it gets shut down, like check some AH stuff before I go. So we're going to wrap it up for today. I appreciate you guys dropping in, watching, chatting, especially Bones. Bones is one of my regulars. I appreciate the interaction. It makes me feel, not so alone because I'm not talking to myself. But tomorrow, I guess it's Friday tomorrow. Today Thursday? Gosh, I'm so bad. Yes, today's Thursday. Okay, so tomorrow we'll probably be back here. Hopefully I will be able to collect some of the items I have. It really depends on You know, they say 4 hours. If it extends even further than that, that means less time for me to work up some extra materials. But I will try and get some pieces, like some signs and things that we might be able to scatter around the edges, and think about more about what might go in the commentator booth. We'll probably start setting up the little lounge areas on either side and give some more thought to the snack stands and stuff like that. And hopefully be able to work on some of that tomorrow. And then that'll be it for the week. Really nothing else to say on that. You know, every week kind of fluctuates and changes depending on what's going on. I do know that next week should be the start of Shades Eve. That starts on Monday, I believe, the 19th. So we'll have that event kicking in, and I'm not sure when the hover park one, the hoverboard Z pre thing starts in. I haven't. That may be more like the 21st, 22nd, somewhere around there. I'm not sure. But it's supposed to be running about the same time. So hopefully we'll get some more of the pieces that we need, because next Saturday, the 24th, is my guild's Shades Eve event. So once that goes and is done, then I'll be able to show you all of the work that I did on my mains plot. You won't actually see me building on it, but I'll explain, you know, maybe some of the pieces that I use, what the items are actually supposed to be, because I'm not sure everything is clear on what it's meant to be or whatever. But we'll be getting into that next week and a little bit later. So, but yeah, next week is Shades Eve event. So, you know, get your grinding pants on, because we're gonna have just, I think it's 2 weeks that we get to try and get as much of the, you know, holiday themed decor that we can. I imagine the holiday that we'll be having during the Christmas period will be about the same, about 2 weeks. We haven't seen any of those. I've seen like glimpses of it, and like the new video that's out showing some of the changes for free to play. You just see a brief little glimpse of something Christmassy, you know, their Winterfest thing. It looked like a big tower or something. I don't know what. It was like just a flash, so it was kind of hard. I'll have to go back and pause it so I can get a better look. But definitely next week with Shades Eve kicking in, there's going to be a lot of effort put into getting as much of that as I can. As I know I want some of the carts and the pumpkins and the effigies and some of the bits, maybe not so much, because they'll be so. I mostly want the items that can be used any time of the year, like the empty crate, the empty carts. Those for sure, I want some of those, and some of the trees. Because they got like the spooky ones, it's all kind of creepy and everything, and that really, you know, you could use in all the year round. But like maybe the candy buckets, maybe you only want to put those out during the event, because I think they're going to keep their little icon above it, which makes them a little not so decorator friendly. But are you talking about in real life, Bones? I know a lot of people, they'll like put up their Christmas lights and then they won't dismantle it. They'll just, you know, switch it off, but you can still see the lights on their house, and it's all year that they have them up, just so they don't have to keep putting them out and everything. But yeah, Halloween, even though we don't really do any kind of, we don't do like parties or anything here at home, it's one of my favorite times of year. So, you know, I remember back in the day when I would do like trick-or-treating and stuff. This was back when there wasn't the scare of people putting, you know, bad things in your food or anything like that. This was back in the day where, you know, the neighbors would have a little hot dog cookout, and everybody would come through, and everybody knew everybody, and we'd get like homemade candies and cookies and things, and didn't, you know, think twice about it. these days it's kind of scary doing that kind of thing if it's not with an organization that you're familiar with. I know as I was getting older, I remember the stores like for downtown and stuff would hold special trick-or-treating giveaways for the kids, just so that they didn't have to go to strangers' homes. They would come to the shops and get little treats that way. But it was always, a favorite time of year. My parents loved decorating the yard with like weird cemetery scenes, and my brother loved sitting on the porch dressed up looking like a stuffed, mannequin or something, and then have this big bowl of candy sitting next to him, and when the kids would come to reach it, he'd like go ooh and scare the crap out of them. And so my whole family really enjoyed it. We didn't like going to the parties and dressing up that way, but we liked when kids would come to the house and trick-or-treating that way. That was fun. But we don't have that here. I think Belgium just hasn't, it's really kind of an American holiday, so it's not really big over here. They do have the Halloween parties, but it's mostly for dancing and drinking, which doesn't interest me at all. And we have, on a very rare occasion, had some trick-or-treaters actually come by the house, but it's like a group of 4, and that was it for the evening, as opposed to every 5 minutes in the States you'd have somebody ringing on your bell to say trick or treat kind of thing. But they have the decorations and stuff in the store, but it's really not that big of a thing over here. So kind of sad, because like I said, it's one of my favorite holidays. So I'm really enjoying decorating my plot up for that guild event that's next Saturday. I'm just hoping that the games that I have planned work out well. I'm gonna have to test. Part of it's using some music, and I don't want to like hurt anybody's ears. And I don't want it to go, sometimes when you do the team speak, it kind of echoes and stuff. So I've been trying to get that sorted. I had it sorted like a few weeks ago, but I've kind of forgotten how I set it up. So I'm going to have to practice again, make sure I got it all kind of squared away. But I'll tell you all about that later. In the meantime, I hope you guys have a good day. Hopefully the maintenance doesn't last the full 4 hours or longer. I think the other day when they had that length, it ended up being a little shorter, which was nice. Because I think they always try to overestimate just to cover their bases, but you never know when maintenance comes. Weird things can happen, and it may not go as planned. But we'll pick it up tomorrow, and hope you guys have a good day. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.